Okay, press statement. Government must fully disclose all its calculations relating to the Employment Insurance System Bill 2017. Today, the government signaled its intentions to push through the Employment Insurance System Bill 2017. This bill will most likely be debated as a second reading early next week. In view of the urgency of the same, I urge the government to immediately and fully disclose all the big data projections and all related actuarial calculations relating to the bill. On the surface, the bill seeks to help provide some insurance benefit to employees who are retrenched or unfairly dismissed. I am in full support of any move to help workers. Yeah, let's just be very, very clear on this issue. But as they say, the devil is in the detail. Based on my calculations, the detail of the bill indicates a severe disconnect between the contributions for the scheme and the expected insurance payout. In every insurance scheme, there is a contribution. And in this particular bill, we're looking at contribution from the employees as well as the employers. Yeah? Workers and the bosses have to contribute towards this bill. What we have to analyze is how much is the actual contribution going to government under SOCSO and how much is expected to be paid out. Okay? So the first question we have to ask is how much is the contribution expected from employees and employers? Under Section 32 of the bill, the minister can choose 3 different schedules of contribution. A low-level contribution, a medium level, or high level. Yeah? For sake of illustration, we will take the medium level. Okay? Now, assuming the average income of workers today, the average worker is earning $2,000 a month, the monthly contribution is $24.60 a month. Yeah? The Malaysian Employers Federation, MEF, reported that there are 6.8 million workers who are covered under this particular scheme. In total, there are 14 million workers, but 6.8 million are covered under this insurance scheme. This means that the annual contribution of all the workers, the 6.8 million workers and the employers, will be $24.60 a month, times 12 months, times 6.8 million workers, which is roughly 2 billion a year. The total contribution is 2 billion a year. What is the expected payout from this insurance? In 2015, MEF reported 44,000 workers were retrenched. Yeah? For 2016 numbers, MEF indicator is much higher than 2015 numbers. So we estimate it's about 50,000 last year. This year, of course, is only mid-year. We don't know what the numbers are. Assuming the retrenchment rate is 50,000, and I tell you, 2015 and 2016 were bad economic years where big retrenchment happened. So we're using a high number already as it is. Let's just calculate. Using the same formula of 2,000 pay a month average, you take 2,000, the scheme pays only half the salary. Yeah? That means they only pay 1,000. They don't pay the full 2,000. 1,000 ringgit times 6 months, which is the maximum. I'm already giving the government the benefit of a maximum payout. 6 months times 50,000 retrenchment rate, which is very high. Normally, in an average year, is about 20,000. If I give them the benefit of the doubt, 50,000, the amount comes out to 300 million. It is not 2 billion. People are being asked to pay 2 billion. They only pay out on a really difficult year 300 million. Yeah? So, there is a massive disconnect between the contribution and the payout. When there's a massive disconnect, this must be viewed as a tax. It is essentially a tax. Yeah? So, what is the differential between the payout and the contribution? 6.7 times. I think a much fairer number, and most actuarial scientists will agree with me, is a maximum of 3 times only. Yeah? The contribution cannot be more than 3 times than the expected payout. Okay? So what does this mean? It means that employers and employees, if this bill is rammed through next week, are now being forced to pay more than twice of what is actually required. Yeah? In other words, government is forcing the average worker, the 2,000 a month earner, to pay 300 ringgit a year, when in actual fact, they only need them to pay 135 ringgit a year. You know? This is the crazy thing about this bill. If the government don't disclose the numbers properly, and we rush into this and debate it, how? It will end up most workers paying a lot more for insurance than they don't have to pay. And remember, this is not affecting just workers. It affects the employers too, because employers have to contribute half. Yeah? So what we know is this. My recommendation is collect up to 1.1 billion a year. Collect up to 900 million a year. The government should aim to collect 900 million a year because they have to pay out 300 million. In case the economic collapses totally and 150,000 people are out of job next year, they can at least cover for that. Yeah? So when we look at actuarial science, we're looking at a long-term 20-year plan. But this is already a difficult economic time, so this is not even the average. Yeah? My maths, I think, is not far off, even though I'm not an actuarial scientist. Yeah? Asking the people to pay 6.7 times more is crazy. They should be made maximum 3 times. So what this will result is basically the government will collect 1.1 billion more than what they need. What is the government going to use this money for? Will this excess money be invested into more government securities, more government bonds, so that Najib can cover more of this 1MDB debt? That is a fundamental question. Why are you collecting more than necessary? Now, therefore, I think that my calculations reveal that could be actually a hidden agenda, that this altruistic intention to help retrenched workers may in actual fact be an additional tax to both workers and employers. If you suck out 1.1 billion from the workers who are already poor and also from employers who are already suffering business-wise, you are only making it worse for the market because the consumption tax of GST already decimated economic activity. So this is not the way forward.